The sociological imagination is one of the first topics ever like studied in sociology, not chronologically, but it's the way that like every single introduction to sociology class opens up. Like it's the first concept that usually gets studied by brand new sociology students. And here's the thing that's really interesting about it. It is a concept that is transformative. Like it'll change the way that you see yourself in the world. And it's a concept that is like never endingly useful. You can constantly use this and you constantly kind of catch yourself going through life, especially if you kind of stay thinking sociologically. You go, oh, there we go, like sociological imagination. So let's dig into what it is. It comes in two different parts. So the first one is it's the intersection of history and biography. History is what's going on in society today. Many, 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 many things, right? Biography is you. What age are you right now? I am closing in on a whole nother decade. I'm going to be turning 50. And so that's a very, very different world for me than it is for somebody who is taking college classes that is in their earlier mid 20s. Maybe you're a returning college student and you are older. I believe I was like 33, 34 when I was finishing up my undergraduate degrees, right? And so I'm a double major in sociology and women and gender studies. Like I'm all nerdy about it, but I love it. Um, what's college? How's that going? How expensive is it? How are student loans, right? How are the various different prices of college? How's the competition? What are you going to major in? Because what's going to be the career that you need to have in order to earn a middle class lifestyle? How's the housing market? Right? These are the types of things. This is an example of the intersection of history and biography. The age that I am in the year that it is, as you're listening to this, is going to be a totally different experience than the exact same year, but the age that you are. The world's going to look completely different. The opportunities that we have, that looks completely different. Were you on social media today? I was on Instagram. Because again, please see the fact that I cited I'm a middle-aged person. Was I on TikTok? No, I was not. Because I actively made the decision, even though I'm sure I would love TikTok, like by all means, bring on more recipes and books and cute stuff. I love cute stuff. But like I made the active decision. I'm like, no, no, I'm done. Like social media is going to go on without me. And I'm just going to have to be okay. Um, I just, it's my age and stage in the times that we're living in. Have you seen like a 1 year old ever be handed like a phone, like a smartphone, and they can like navigate it? Because let's not think about just me and you, but like, did you navigate a smartphone perfectly when you were their age? When you were 1 year old? No, you didn't because there was no smartphone in the same way that it's so ubiquitous now. What's it going to be in 20 years? How's college going to be in 20 years? How's the world going to be in 20 years? Like the sociological imagination goes backwards into the past, current today, and into the future. What's it going to be like to be almost 50 years old in another 20, 30 years? Because at that point, I'll be closing in on like 80, and you'll be closing in on 50, right? And you'll be living a life that has so much difference in it just based on the fact that it's the year that it is. So that's the first part of the sociological imagination. Here's the second part. It's understanding our personal experiences in a broader social context. That's getting at the same examples that I gave before. Personal experiences with college. Some people have a great deal of resources and family, um, not necessarily wealth, but basically enough wealth that you don't have to worry about scraping together every last little bit of, fear and hope and prayer and money and student loans for college. Some people don't have that opportunity. Some people went to high schools that had so much support and like 8 counselors and it was college prep and all these different types of things. Other people did not go. So, like looking at your personal experience, whether it's the example that I'm using of college, or if you're looking again, we can go back to social media, your social media usage, the way that it has shaped you. Well, it's shaped everybody. So, not just looking at your lived experience, but like thinking of the world around you in a larger scale. When I do this, like when I teach sociological imagination in on-campus classrooms, we do an activity where I have people just take something out of their school bag and have to apply the sociological imagination. And so, like, here's one example. Water bottles, right? I have two cute Awala water bottles, and they are filled with cold water. And I, for some reason, need to use one on Monday and Wednesday and the other on Tuesday and Thursday because that's just the way my brain works. And I always have it with me, always, 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 always. And that's the case for a lot of us, right? What do we bring into school? So let's think about that, understanding our personal experience in a broader social context. Well, first of all, a lot of the water bottles nowadays, the Stanleys, the Hawalas, the other ones, Brewmate, I don't know, they're pricey, right? That's a privilege to be able to have that. We're assuming, like, even just from a world standpoint, access to fresh drinking water, that's not necessarily something that everybody in the world has. That's not something that necessarily everybody in the United States always has. So thinking about things like cost, thinking about things like access, thinking about things like, again, the intersection of history and biography. When I was in high school and college, did we walk around making sure that we had cold water with us at all times? No, we did not. Like, we were not socialized. We were not sold a bill of goods about hydration. I mean, yeah, it does feel delightful to be well hydrated, but constantly asking yourself, well, wait a second. How do my clothes, how do my interests, how do my experiences, how does everything operate on a larger scale in the world around me? What does it matter what age I am in the year that I'm living, and how does that make an impact on me? We think a lot of times that we are individuals and we make a myriad of decisions and we are unique and everything else, and we are. But a lot of those decisions, a lot of the ways that we're living, are being shaped by the various forces around us. And so that hopefully gets you thinking about the way that a concept like the sociological imagination is very alive and well in your life and my life and everybody's.